Have you ever woken up in the morning, picked up your phone for just 5 minutes, and somehow, almost an hour later, you're still scrolling? And the strange thing is, you have not even started your day yet. You are already consuming other people's opinions, other people's lives, other people's entertainment, and other people's thoughts. Then you finally get up, rush through the day, attend to everybody else's demands, and by night, when you finally have time for yourself, you're too tired to think, learn, build, or grow. And then we ask ourselves, why am I not becoming the person I want to become? This is what made me think of a book I read sometimes back called The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. But I don't want to simply review that book today, because I don't think the most important message of this book is that everybody must wake up at 5 a.m. The deeper message is this: what part of your day belongs completely to your growth before the world begins demanding your attention? Because if you don't intentionally decide what enters your mind, the world will decide for you. Now think about it. The moment many of us wake up, we check our phones. Before we have thoughts about our own lives, we're already looking at other people's lives. Before we have thoughts about our own goals, we are consuming other people's opinion. Before we have decided what matters to us today, the internet has already decided what we should pay attention to. And then gradually we begin to live reactively. Something happens, we react. A notification comes in, we respond. Someone posts something, we watch. Someone gives an opinion, we absorb it, but we rarely pause and ask, what am I actually trying to build with my life? This is why I think the 5 a.m. Club offers a powerful idea. You need to protect a portion of your day for yourself, not for entertainment, not for other people's demands, but for intentionality, so that you can become who you really want to become. The book presents a simple framework called the 20/20/20 formula. The first 20 minutes are for movement, exercise, walking, stretching, whatever helps you wake up your body and activate the energy. Then the second 20 minutes are for reflection, prayer, meditation, journaling, thinking, planning. And the third 20 minutes are for growth. That's reading, studying, learning a skill, feeding your mind with something that makes you wiser for that day. So move, reflect, grow, broken down into these 3 steps. Now, the most important thing is not that exactly 20 minutes of each activity will transform your life. No, the deeper principle is that growth needs a system. Many people genuinely want to improve. They want to read more. They want to learn a skill. They want to think better. They want to pray more. They want to work on their business. But they keep waiting for the perfect mood. And you see, that is the problem. If your growth depends on whether you feel motivated, your growth will always be inconsistent. The system says, this is when I do this. Not because I always feel like it, but because this is who I am becoming. And then I think this leads to another powerful idea in the book: focused attention. You see, we live in a world where our attention is constantly being broken into pieces. You start studying, you check a message, you return to your study, you see a notification, you quickly open it, you open social media, you watch a video, and then another. And then you now remember the work you're supposed to do, but now your mind is tired. See, the problem is not always that you're lazy. Sometimes your attention has simply been trained to escape. You have become so used to constant stimulation that makes silence even feels uncomfortable. Focus now feels difficult. Boredom now feels unbearable. But almost everything valuable requires the ability to stay with something. That's learning a skill, building a business, understanding a difficult subject, writing, reading a book, developing wisdom, even discovering your purpose. This requires enough quiet to hear yourself think. You need to be silent to be able to think for yourself, to even discover your purpose. You cannot deeply understand your life when your attention is constantly interrupted. So one practical lesson from this book is this: create periods of total focus. It could be 30 minutes, it could be 1 hour. Put away the distractions. Do one meaningful thing. Not 10 things, not 20 things, just one thing. Because a distracted person can spend 10 hours doing things and still accomplish very, very little. But a focused person can sometimes accomplish more in 1 hour than a distracted person does in an entire day. So this is the part I feel many people don't want to hear. Your potential is not only being wasted by the things you do. Sometimes your potential is being wasted by the things you keep allowing to interrupt you. You may have the intelligence, you may have the creativity, you may even know exactly what you should be doing, but if your attention is constantly being taken away from you, your potential remains potential. It remains the same thing. So, and this brings us to perhaps the most important lesson. Consistency beats intensity any day, anytime. You see, many people want a dramatic transformation. They watch one motivational video today and feels unstoppable. They make a plan, they become excited for 3 days. Everything is perfect, and then life happens suddenly. They miss a day, then 2 days, and the entire plan now disappears. But you see, real growth is usually not dramatic. It is often boring. It is reading when you don't feel like reading, practicing when nobody is applauding you, returning after you've failed, doing something little, doing something small repeatedly until it becomes part of who you are. You don't need to completely change your life tomorrow. You need to stop abandoning the things that could gradually change your life. So here's a simple challenge that I have for you. Tomorrow, before you give the first part of your mind for the world, take one half for yourself. You can even use the 20/20/20 idea. That's 20 minutes to move, 20 minutes to pray, reflect, or write, and then the last 20 minutes to write. So if 1 hour is too much, you can stay with 30 minutes. The exact time is not really the point. The point is to begin your day intentionally. And if 5 a.m. is not realistic for your schedule, don't turn the clock into a religion. The clock is not really the magic. The main principle here is to protect your best attention. For something meaningful. Because the real question is not, can I wake up at 5 a.m.? The real question is, do I have any time in my day that I am not simply reacting to life, but intentionally building the person I want to become? You see, let me tell you, your mind is like a piece of land. Every day, something must be planted in it. Something is going to be planted in it. Social media will plant something in it. Other people's opinion will plant something in it. Fear will plant something in it. Even comparison will plant something in your mind. But now the question is, will you ever take time to plant something in it yourself? You see, that to me is the deeper message of the 5 a.m. club. You don't need to become a different person overnight, but you do need to start taking responsibility. You need to start taking responsibility to what you give your attention to. Your future is not only created by the big decisions you make occasionally, it is also being created by the things you do with the first hours, the quiet moments, the small choices you repeat every day. So perhaps tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, pause and ask yourself, what am I going to give my mind before the world begins asking for it? Because the person you really want to become may not need more motivation. Maybe that person simply needs you to start protecting the time, attention, and discipline required to become them.